Radium.
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 The Radium Girls, young and full of life, never imagined that their seemingly glamorous jobs would lead to such a tragic fate. They took pride in their work, with no warning of the deadly consequences. They trusted their employers and followed instructions, unaware that each brushstroke was slowly poisoning them. The story of the Radium Girls is a tragic story in industrial history caused by the dangers of unchecked corporate greed and the lack of worker protections in the early 20th century. Here's a detailed breakdown of this event. First, let's talk about the discovery of radium. Radium was discovered by Marie and Pierre Curie in 1898. This glowing, radioactive element quickly became a sensation, hailed as a miracle substance with various applications. It was used in everything from medical treatments to consumer products, including glow-in-the-dark paint. Radium was a required ingredient in the creation of glow-in-the-dark paint. The paint, known as undark, was made by mixing radium with zinc sulfide. When applied to watch dials, clock faces, and instrument panels, it allowed them to glow in the dark, making them highly desirable, especially for military use during World War I. The workers at the factory were known as the Radium Girls. The Radium Girls were young women, often in their teens or early 20s, hired by companies like the United States Radium Corporation and Radium Dial Company to paint watch dials using radium-infused paint. These jobs were considered glamorous and well-paying at the time, especially for women. Technique to achieve the fine detail required on the small watch dials, the workers were instructed to use a technique called lip dip paint. They would shape the brush with their lips to create a fine point, dip it in the radium paint, and then paint the dials. This process was repeated hundreds of times per day, leading the workers to ingest radium-laced paint repeatedly. The first death attributed to radium poisoning occurred in 1922, when a worker named Molly Maggia died after her jaw literally disintegrated. Many more followed, suffering excruciating pain and disfigurement before succumbing to their illnesses. It wasn't over yet, though. They struggled for justice as corporate denial stepped in. Despite the mounting evidence, the companies employing the Radium Girls denied any wrongdoing. They insisted that radium was safe and that the women's health issues were due to syphilis or other unrelated conditions. The companies used their influence to cover up the true cause of the workers' suffering. In 1925, a pathologist named Harrison Martland developed a test that conclusively proved that radium was poisoning the workers. Armed with this evidence, 5 of the affected women filed a lawsuit against the United States Radium Corporation in 1927. The case, known as Radium Girls versus U.S. Radium Corporation, became a landmark legal battle. The women eventually won the case, although many of them did not live to see the outcome. The settlement they received was relatively small, but the case had far-reaching consequences. It led to changes in U.S. labor laws and safety standards, including the establishment of occupational disease labor laws and the eventual founding of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA. The Radium Girls case highlighted the need for better workplace safety regulations and greater accountability for companies. It also brought attention to the dangers of radioactive substances, leading to stricter controls and regulations. The story of the Radium Girls has been retold in books, plays, and films, serving as a stark reminder of the human cost of industrial progress when it is not accompanied by adequate safety measures. The bravery of the Radium Girls in standing up to powerful corporations has made them symbols of the fight for workers' rights and safety. Their story continues to inspire and educate people about the importance of protecting workers from exploitation and harm.